In East Africa, the threat on media freedoms enters its second day in Kenya. The country's interior minister said on Wednesday 3 Kenyan television stations will remain off the air indefinitely as the government investigates the symbolic swearing-in of opposition leader Raila Odinga. Independently owned Citizen TV and Radio, KTN and NTV was switched off on Tuesday after they transmitted live coverage of an opposition ceremony to swear in Odinga. Odinga, whose supporters say he is Kenya's legitimate leader and that President Uhuru Kenyatta's election was neither free nor fair, took a symbolic presidential oath at the ceremony. Fred Matiang'i says the opposition event was an attempt to subvert and overthrow the legally constituted government, adding that they were also investigating the swearing-in.
That as a result of what happened yesterday, we have commenced a wide-scale investigation targeting individuals and organizations who include but may not be limited to certain media houses. We will act decisively but strictly according to the law. As long as those investigations continue, there are certain actions that are going to remain in place. For example, the media houses will remain switched off until we have completed some of the investigations that we are carrying out.
For more on the latest developments in Kenya, Erick Oduor, Secretary General of the Kenyan Union of Journalists, joins me by phone from Nairobi. Good evening, Erick. Erick?
Yes, I can hear you.
Now, I have to say this, having lived through the Daniel Arap Moi regime, I don't remember seeing televisions switched off. Is the media in Kenya under great threat today as we speak?
Yes, the media in Kenya is under great threat because even during former regime, Daniel Moi's Kanu regime, we never saw such kind of crackdown on the media because the government says that they are even investigating individual journalists whom they believe that could have also be working with the opposition. So actually, that is currently that's the position in Kenya. But this regime actually, from when it took over, even in the first term, is a regime that has never been friendly to the media. We've seen a number of attempts actually to limit the press freedom here in Kenya, probably through legislation, physical attacks on journalists, coming up with the new policies that are meant to serve off the media revenue that is needed to run the media organizations in Kenya.
Now, we know that the Constitution, as it is currently, supposed to really protect the freedoms such as those of the media. How well are the courts in Kenya placed to tackle what we are witnessing today, this crackdown on the media?
Actually, our only savior is going to be the courts because they have helped us before. When I remember 2 years ago, the government was trying to enact some laws that were against the Constitution that would have given the government more powers to carry out such crackdowns on the media, but the courts actually declared those sections of the law as unconstitutional. So we believe that actually if we go to court, because I think that's our next course of action, going to court so that we can get an order that will compel the government to switch on these television stations so that they can go back on air.
Could you say that perhaps the swearing in of Raila Odinga in that event yesterday has exposed the ugly side of this current government?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, that is what we've been telling the whole world, that Kenyan press freedom is under threat because we've received a lot of criticism from members of the public who believe that the Kenyan media was not as authoritative as it has always been. But actually, this is now confirms what I've been telling the public and even the whole world, that the Kenyan media actually has been struggling to defend its independence. Now, this actually brings everything into the open, that apparently the government has been trying to interfere with the operations and editorial decisions of media houses.
Well, we have to say, Erick, I've never seen this. We hope things change. Thank you very much for joining us today. Erick Oduor is the Secretary General of the Kenyan Union of Journalists.